In the early days of K-pop, live performances were considered a cornerstone of the genre, showcasing the talent and charisma of artists on stage. However, as the industry has evolved and embraced new technologies, there is a growing sentiment that the essence of live performances is gradually diminishing. Whether it's a music show broadcast, a concert, or a fan meeting, live performances serve as a way for idols to connect with their audience on a more personal level, creating memorable and intimate experiences that cannot be replicated through recorded media alone. The sense of spontaneity and the unique connection between artists and fans that live performances once provided seem to be eroding. If you don't get what I'm trying to say, then here is a much simpler explanation by what I mean about connection between artists and fans thanks to live performances. Notice that if you watch live performances where artists mostly sing and perform live, notice how they can pause, interact, and joke around with fans.
I say feels like, you say clap clap. Like this, let's practice, ready, Jay? I said, feels like, clap, clap. I said, feels like.
You hardly see that anymore now that artists barely sing live, as they have to lip sync throughout their entire performance to act like it's actually live when it's not. So they avoid the accusation of them being caught lip syncing despite them lip syncing. So what I'm trying to say is that because of this, artist performances now feel more robotic than it is authentic, as they're struggling to uphold a certain image. You wouldn't see an artist who lip syncs occasionally pause here and there to interact more with the fans. Take a look at artists like Beyonce, who is often regarded as one of the best vocalists and performers. Notice how she can move the mic away from her mouth and sometimes speak to the crowd. Or Coldplay, who can dance and run around on stage while singing. Or even Doja Cat, who is currently one of these generation's best performers, as you know the bar is very low for Western artists right now when it comes to performing. So Doja Cat is one of the few people carrying in the performance department of this new generation, if only she wasn't a weirdo.
I have a song you might know. It's been a long time since you.
I'm not going to show more examples so it wouldn't look like I'm pushing the agenda that Western artists sing live and K-pop idols don't, because I know that they too face the same issue of lack of live performances. They also aren't even safe from this. It's a whole music industry thing, but I wouldn't really touch on them because I'm focusing on the K-pop industry. Anyways, but I'm not saying that this is an issue for every K-pop group. There are some K-pop groups and artists that still try to give their all singing live while simultaneously performing hard choreographies, like BTS. I honestly regard BTS as one of the best live performers in K-pop, if not the best. You will always see them try their best to deliver a live stage while performing hard choreography. K-pop fans give BTS too much shit despite them being one of the few groups left that still tries to give great live performances. When they perform, you can hear their breathing, hear their stutters. Sometimes Namjoon or J-Hope speaks over the singing and you know it's definitely live. This is usually coupled with their hard choreographies. So many other K-pop groups cannot relate to this.
Run, yeah, you got it, run. Run, yeah, you got it, run.
Even Jin's most recent fan event after being released from the military, he still managed to deliver a complete live performance with stable vocals. Another group that does this is NMIX. Coming from a company who isn't known for having vocal groups, NMIX is single-handedly carrying JYP's reputation in the live vocals and performance department. They are also one of the few groups that tries to keep that live magic alive. I did find the stuff they pulled recently where they planned with the organizers to act like the backtrack turned off accidentally and continued singing so they'd get praised to be extremely corny, but that's that. For a fourth-gen group who still tries their best to sing live, makes them have some sort of respect from the K-pop community. Anyways, if there are more groups you know that still tries to deliver good live performances with difficult choreos nowadays, then feel free to comment them. Believe it or not, the inability to actually perform live can also affect overall stage presence. When the performance feels robotic, so does the stage presence. Remember aespa's early days when they got backlash for lip syncing and having terrible robotic stage presence, and after their first live performance in Coachella, they finally started improving. In the process of trying to maintain a certain image, there's also the sacrifice of a great show being made. Unless it's the case of Lisa from Blackpink, who lip syncs during performances and doesn't really care about being caught lip syncing in exchange for her performing hard on stage. I'll get to this point later. So, why the decline in live performances? One of the factors contributing to the perceived decline in live performances is the widespread use of lip syncing, like I've said, and increasing reliance on pre-recorded vocals during performances. Lip syncing or miming to pre-recorded vocals have become more prevalent, raising questions about the authenticity and genuine talent on display during live shows. While lip syncing is not a new phenomenon in the entertainment industry, its surge in K-pop have left fans grappling with the realization that what they witness on stage may not always be an accurate representation of an artist's vocal abilities. Even the CEO of SM Entertainment claims that lip syncing is a genre, and SM artists often lip sync so much to a point that some of the fans have been deluded into not being able to identify when their faves sing live versus when they're lip syncing. But this wasn't always the case. The reason why second gen is known as the vocal generation is because it consisted of artists that weren't scared to perform live, although they had much easier choreographies compared to their successors. The early third gen was a combination of live singing and more difficult choreographies. However, the late third gen to the fourth gen was when the real shift in overall live singing and performances started happening. At this point, K-pop had blown up more than ever before, and the slightest thing could land you into a scandal. The transition to fourth gen is when encore stages went from harmless fun to people expecting you to sing like you did during the music show performance and not make an ounce of mistake, or else your career will be over. Which brings me to my next point. There are certain factors contributing to the rise of lip syncing or pre-recorded performances in K-pop. One of them is the demanding nature of the genre's choreography. In the past, K-pop idols were praised for their ability to dance and sing simultaneously. However, with the rise of complex choreography, especially towards the end of third gen and the start of the fourth gen, when that shift happened, and high energy performances, some artists have turned to pre-recorded tracks to maintain the visual spectacle without compromising on the vocal quality. K-pop groups are known for their intricate and synchronized dance routines, which often involve complex formations and rapid movements. Performing such demanding choreography while maintaining pitch-perfect vocals can be challenging, leading many groups to opt for lip-syncing during intense dance sequences. This strategic decision allows them to deliver a visually stunning performance without compromising the overall quality of the show, like I said about Lisa, who lip syncs or uses loud backtracks a lot to prioritize her dancing instead. Moreover, the prevalence of lip syncing in K-pop have raised questions about the intense pressure faced by idols to maintain a flawless image. In an industry known for its high standards and fierce competition, the fear of making a mistake during a live performance may drive some artists to choose the safety net of pre-recorded vocals. The pressure on K-pop idols to maintain an immaculate image coupled with the demanding choreography of their performances has created an environment where lip-syncing can be perceived as a necessary compromise. The fear of making a vocal mistake or sounding less than perfect during a live performance has led some artists to opt for the perceived safety net of lip-syncing. Furthermore, the prevalence of lip-syncing raises concerns about the mental and emotional toll it may take on K-pop idols. The relentless scrutiny and high expectations placed on these idols can create an environment where the pursuit of perfection becomes all-encompassing. The fear of disappointing fans or facing criticism for any perceived vocal shortcomings may contribute to the decision to rely on pre-recorded vocals. The shift towards intricate stage productions and visually stunning performances have further complicated the issue of lip-syncing. As K-pop groups invest more in elaborate set designs and cutting-edge technology, the line between a live performance and a meticulously orchestrated production blurs. While these visually captivating shows undoubtedly leave a lasting impression, they also raise questions about the true essence of a live performance and whether the emphasis on spectacle has come at the expense of authentic artistic expression. Despite these concerns, it is important to acknowledge that not all K-pop acts succumb to the trend of relying on lip-syncing. A few artists and groups remain committed to preserving the authenticity of their live performances, opting for genuine vocal delivery even amidst intricate choreography. On the topic of fourthgen being more dance-focused, probably lies in the fact that they have harder choreography, and try to avoid backlash by all means, because we've seen how K-pop stans are towards idols that make the smallest mistake on stage. We also see how K-pop stans are extremely biased to the idols they choose to attack for vocal mistakes. My personal opinion on this whole thing is that I don't really mind either. If you're going to lip sync, then give me a performance so spectacular that I wouldn't even notice or care. But I do have more respect for groups that try to deliver great live performances even with hard choreos these days. On that note, K-pop stans need to stop clinging on to encore stages where idols are obviously having fun to decide if they're good singers or not.